Okay, let's get a reaction now from one of the leading voices of Indian industry. Dr. Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, Executive Chairperson, Biocon Limited, joins me. Appreciate your joining us, Ms. Shaw. My question to you, how are you seeing this budget from an industry point of view, not just your industry, but in general? Will this kickstart, as some are hoping, a virtuous cycle of demand and consumption and eventually growth?
So, Rajdeep, I look at this budget in terms of how the finance minister has gone about looking at some of the very important growth levers. And of course, you can see that by giving the tax relief to the middle classes, she is hoping that it will basically bolster and boost consumption. Okay, so that's one aspect. The second aspect is, of course, she talks about regulatory reforms, which we are yet to see what shape they're going to take. But I think the government is clearly, has clearly recognized the need to improve ease of doing business. I think they are, looking at decriminalizing a lot of non-compliances. So I think in that sense, they're hoping that this will basically give better, confidence to the Indian industry. Having said that, I think we will need to wait for the, the income tax bill which he spoke about, and what actually will transpire in the regulatory reforms. And this time, I hope the committee will actually include industry members, because I think it is for industry to basically make sure that their key pain points are removed. Because having a bunch of bureaucrats look at regulations never really delivers the desired results.
What you seem to suggest then, the intent is there, but does it get translated into practice, particularly when it comes to ease of doing business? The chief economic advisor spoke about it, of the need for government to get out of businesses' way. You believe that the true test will come in the ability of the government to translate intent into action on these key pressure points?
You said it, Rajdeep. I think that's always been the challenge in India. And I think more than that, of course, the intent of this budget has been very good, very positive. You can't really fault this budget in any way, because whether you talk of, innovation, where a 20,000 crore, budgetary allocation has been announced, whether you talk of, very interesting aspects of the health economy, whether it's health tourism. Of course, they've even talked about removing customs duty for life-saving medicines, but I hope that also extends to GST, because it's not just imported drugs, but it's also indigenous drugs, which also need to be cheaper for patients. So I think there's a lot of, fine details to be looked at. So the intent is there, but then again, I go back to the point that as a national standalone budget, it's a good budget.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at it in the context of, what's happening globally, whether it's the economic slowdown, whether it is the sort of geopolitics and geoeconomics of wanting more localization and, increasing potential tariffs from every part of the world, I mean, are we well prepared?
So net, ma'am, given, as you said, the global headwinds, the uncertainties, particularly with what Donald Trump could do come tomorrow, cautious optimism is the best way to look at this budget?
Well, yes, I think, lots of good things in the budget, but I think we really need to make sure that we are aligned with global policies, and that, we are really well focused on being part of the global supply chains through the kind of incentives and policies that we will come out with, because that's what we really need to look at through this budget. The budget overall is a good budget, but I'm not so sure we're addressing everything, because we focused on consumption, But do we have enough incentives for exports? Do we have enough incentives for manufacturing competitiveness? Do we have enough incentives for, investing in certain critical areas? I mean, that's what we really need to assess.
Okay.
So, and of course, overarching all this is going to be the ease of doing business.
The ease of doing business is the concern that business has. We'll wait and see whether this budget has actually ensured that at least on compliance, and we'll wait for that direct income tax bill to see what that does in ensuring perhaps that businessmen feel that the government means well. Thank you very much, Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, for joining me.
Thank you, Rajdeep.